So we have this funny moment, like, haha, we broke the ducks. This is very funny. And then without saying anything,
We all like subconsciously decided to have the most serious like team match 3v3 of duck millions. It was
hello,
hello.
greetings.
Hello, internet.
Yes, I am Joe. This is Dom. And we've been told we can hold a conversation about anything. So here we
And
are.
so welcome to the first episode of our podcast.
Yes,
In short.
yes. Um, we've gotten a lot of requests to ramble into a microphone and record it.
Mhm.
After a lot of rambling done not being recorded. So here we go. You're welcome. I
Very cool Santa hat,
for
Joe.
for
I like the idea.
Thank you. I like your Santa hat.
Thank you.
Yeah.
By the way, oh no, we already introduced ourselves. Well, we didn't introduce ourselves besides our names. We could probably do that now.
Hmm.
This is like the pilot episode or
Yes, this is
something.
kind of the pilot episode, the one where we dump all the lore on you. Although, really briefly, I did want to mention, for those of you who wanted us to do this, you know who you are. If you don't like and hit the bell and hit the sub and like the sub button and combat down below, I'll know.
Bring armor.
Yes, fight. Fight in the comments
Fight
section.
each other.
No, because Dominic, how many people have told us to do this? It's a lot, right?
There
It's
have been
like
many. I haven't kept track, so it's
like
more
it's
impressive
weird
to
that it's
say that I've
happened more
lost
than
count.
once.
Yeah. We
um
specifically get a lot of comments to do a podcast together. I
yeah,
guess we have a very podcastable chemistry,
something like that. Yeah.
something like that.
Um
Yeah.
I've had
Um,
some people say uh they find just doing tedious and menial tasks while listening to me talk about nothing relaxing. So here you go. You can listen to me without even needing me to be here. There you go.
the wonders of modern media.
Yeah.
We can record ourselves. Very
Hmm.
cool. So, we have no plans. We're just kind of going into
Oh, it's all
this.
up here. It's all up here.
Yeah, yeah.
Except it's
In
scripted.
other words, we're improving. There's no
The
script.
comment about us improving is scripted as well.
Well, I didn't have that plan, but sure.
Yeah. No. No. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Um,
Happy holidays.
happy holidays.
It's
I
almost
guess
December.
it's December tomorrow, so we're getting ready over here. Joe
Yeah.
would like to show off the statue in the back.
If you're
Very good.
listening, I'm not going to describe anything to you. You don't deserve to know. um, yeah, there is. I lament. There is a large nutcracker behind me. He is
Mhm.
significant.
Yeah,
I won't.
you
I
know,
won't elaborate.
we should clarify any visual gags that happen in case this is a podcast. People listen audio only.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah,
Um.
there is a large nutcracker in Joe's office.
So yeah.
Um,
You said you wanted to give a little bit of more of who we are. You wanted to give a little more of an
yeah,
introduction than your
sure.
name. So Dom,
Um,
how would you describe yourself, Dom?
how would I
How
describe
would you introduce
myself?
yourself to somebody you just like ran into uh in no particular context?
Okay, I don't have an elevator pitch for myself, which I think I should have probably come up with by now.
Well, you're on the
But
spot. I'm putting you on the spot. Yeah.
okay. I would say that there are like several tiers of depth that I would go into introduce myself because I could talk about myself all day if I cared to,
I know.
or if I was allowed to. I do care to. It's just a matter of if people have the courage to stop me. Most surface level, I am a 19-year-old college student enrolled in community college, and that is that. Very cool. I'm
Mm-hmm.
studying psychology.
Oh, very good.
um, I am not sure how far I plan to take it. Maybe this statement might not even age well, but I am enjoying studying psych a lot right now, and that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I can back that up.
Um,
I can also
The
back up the
next
fact that most things he claims don't hold up well because his plans are constantly and forever evolving.
I make a lot of my plans under the contention that they are going to change, because they always do. I like undergo metamorphosis for
That's not a
personality.
fear of commitment. That's wisdom. He knows better.
Yes, I'm so wise for a 19-year-old. I'm wise in 19. Anyway, so it's like the second level of depth is like where I start throwing hobbies at you. Uh there's a guitar in the background. I
Hmm.
don't really play the guitar that well. I play the drums. You're wondering, "Oh, where's the drums?" The drums are collapsed on the ground. Long story short, things got loose and I don't have access to a drum key right now. And they got loose, and then they collapsed, and it's an electronic kit. So maybe if I turn this way, I mean, if you're audio only, this doesn't even matter. This, I promise you, there's a drum
For
set
you
back there
audio only
somewhere.
people, he just pointed to an abyss. There was no drum set visible.
Yeah, so I do do a little dabbling in music, a bit of a musical dolphin. I play the drums mostly. That's like what I played most of my life. Um, do a little games every now and then, mostly Minecraft and stuff, and then I also do Blender and game development. Um, and I play a lot of D&D. The third level of depth would be how I'm going to conquer the world, and that's for another day.
I'm very glad, and I'm very glad I asked you for your 2 layers of death. Very good.
Yes.
Yes. No, this is how we're gonna start out. You know how we're
Yeah.
setting up the premise that we might be interviewing people or something intermittently. It's gonna start
Yeah,
out
yeah.
off with me interviewing you, and you interviewing me.
Oh,
You didn't ask me
oh,
anything.
excellent.
You didn't ask me anything.
Okay.
Hello.
Um, So bit of context. Joe and I have a bit of an odd chemistry in that we're like the same person in two different bodies. And we communicate oftentimes on a very exact level, abstract level that often involves just like brain dumping information onto the other while the other nods. And to remedy this, we have a Trello board that we just call the queue, which we each have our own queue of things that we have to say, and we put cards in it, and it builds
Yeah.
up. And there are certain items that have more priority. So, Joe, I noticed that there was actually an item on your queue,
Oh, was there?
uh, about don't ever ask me what my favorite song is.
Yes, that was on
What's
my
your
queue.
favorite? What's your favorite song, Joe?
I told you not to ask me that,
I just did though.
man. So,
It was so genuine.
all right. So what I'll preface this with, um, God, there was a lot of C's into my microphone. Um,
Mm.
is that both me and Dom are quite musical lads.
Joe plays the piano.
I am a piano main. I'm a keyboard main.
Mhm.
I also I have every instrument I don't know how to play as well as piano in shot right now. That is my French horn. I was me and Dominic were very much band kids. That was my weapon at those times in high school of choice. We got a
Mhm.
bass. That's my bass guitar. I like
Mhm.
bass. Um,
Mhm.
I would. I'm like inactively actively learning how to play bass right now.
Mhm.
Pick it up, touch it a little bit, get a callus, put it back down. And then all the way on the other side is just one of many guitars that I've temporarily borrowed from my father, who is the true guitar man. But
Mhm.
I'll grant you, I got my camera on a swivel here. That's where all the magic happens right there. That's my MM8 taking it to the
Very
end.
nice.
Um, yeah, and I do a little dabbling in the piano. But I also I feel very strongly about music. I love music. Music is very cool. It makes the world go
Mhm.
round. It makes me feel. Releases dopamine into my brain. I like music. And I
Yeah.
like so many different types of music for different reasons. Um,
Mhm.
and the reason
I
that
think I know what the reason basically is. It's that we both grew up on Vocaloid, which does not have a set genre.
I didn't grow up on Vocaloid, Dominic.
Oh, you
I
didn't?
did not grow up on Vocaloid.
Oh, is that
I
just me?
I hit like a like I listened to Nightcore for the first time in like
Okay.
late middle school. I didn't know what
Okay,
I didn't
same
know
time
what
for me.
I didn't know what a Vocaloid was until late high school, Dominic.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
No, no, yeah. It was
Ah,
very foreign to me.
learning new things.
Um but yeah, like I listen to I primarily listen to and enjoy video game music. But
Mm.
because I play a wide variety of games, that encompasses a
True.
lot of genres. Like recently, because I'm also a very like hear a song I like and feel the need to learn it, which is one of the reasons why I know piano, because you could play an arrangement of almost any song on the piano, except for the
Mhm.
ones that I try to play, because I have a tendency to want to learn songs that are not designed to be played by human beings. Anyway, so uh like just recently I was gonna mention I started learning Soul in Mind, which is the song that plays when you like fall for the first time and getting over it with Bennett Foddy, which is like sad jazz music that plays over the narrators talking going on his rant about how there's no feeling worse than starting over. And then
Yeah.
like it plays, so that's just jazz. It's not video game music, but it has meaning to me because of where I know it from. And that's the case with a lot of music I listen to.
Mhm.
That being said, I listen to a lot of video game music. I think I would describe myself as someone who grew up on classic rock mostly over other things. Like
That's interesting, I didn't
Queen.
know that.
Queen will always hold a special place in my heart. Um, like objectively, if you had to ask me to like there's a gun to my head and I needed to pick a song, um not because in all categories believe it's my favorite, but because I believe I enjoy it, but I also think it is one of the most appreciable songs no matter who you are, is Don't Stop Me Now by Queen.
Mhm.
um because it's upbeat, it's pleasant, has a nice piano in it, it has Mr. I'm very good at singing in it.
Mhm.
It's just a good song. It's very. I saw an article a long time ago, and it was like through some sort of pseudo science calculated to be like the happiest song of the ones on like in the time. Like, listen to this. Now listen to this. Did you like this one? Oh, I like this one. All right. And then it was like it won or something silly.
So you're
And
saying that, like, "Don't Stop Me Now" won a tournament bracket of happy songs?
I'm not saying that's how the experiment was actually done. I'm saying that in my mind, I like to think that's how the experiment was
Oh,
done.
oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, that was just my own. That wasn't the science. That was just my own silly interpretation. Uh,
Okay.
but and like ultimately, you learn a lot about me when I struggle to answer that question, because different songs have different meanings to me for different reasons, and also depend. I mean, first of all, like, songs hit harder if you're in the mood, obviously. But
Mhm.
also, like this song has a lot of meaning to me just like from the game it's from. It's like from this big story moment or something. It's like Still
Mm.
Alive from the end credits of Portal. I love that song. It's not a musically amazing song. It's like it's simple and like it's not bad, but it has a lot of meaning to me because, I heard it for the first time when I beat Portal and I was very young, and it was
Yeah.
a very big game. And I also understand the story context of like this is GLaDOS, a sentient uh emotionless AI singing to you, and it's all this weird context, as opposed to like
Mhm.
Don't Stop Me Now, which I like for only for musical and wide appliance reasons. So and there are all sorts of reasons in between. So I like different. So I like sea shanties. I've been on a sea shanty kick recently.
Is this, like, recently as in, like, the last week or something?
Well, as in like I've been singing Mariner's Revenge in the car today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that when it started?
No, that was I've actually
Okay.
it's been
Because I haven't heard about this either.
no. I mean, it's been like on and off. I like last
Okay.
week it like queued up. I was like, "Oh yeah, this song. I should like memorize the lyrics to this." So I've been trying to listen to it like more
Mhm.
frequently than I would have if I wasn't trying to memorize the lyrics to it. So like I'll throw it on when I go in the shower in the morning and like
Yeah.
sing about my my dead my widowed mother's dead revenge fantasy. It's a very good song. I would recommend that song, by
Mhm.
the way.
I too went through a big sea shanty phase a while back.
I just think they're
There was
fun.
a
I do.
they are very fun, and especially if multiple people know the lyrics and,
Yeah.
when Joe's in the bathroom and everyone's around the fire pit and I can, get a sea shanty going by the time he comes back, and then
For
we can look up
context,
on
not
the
that you
spitfire.
asked, I had a gathering at my place once, and I went to use the bathroom or like get everyone drinks or something, and I came back outside because we were having like a little fire, and I take a step out the door and I'm greeted with this very memorable sight of what what previously was just a normal gang of like adolescents just kind of mingling and not really doing much, and I'd step back outside.
Adolescence is an understatement. We were all over 18.
Were we? How long ago was that?
This
Was that
was, like,
over a year ago?
post-COVID, dude.
Was it post-COVID? Are you
Well,
sure?
not post-COVID,
I
but,
think this might have
like,
been pre-COVID. We might have been like 17.
no, no, I'm 100% sure it was after
We can argue
COVID,
about this
or at least
later.
yeah.
Um, I step outside, and there Dominic is leading the entire group of my friends in a sea shanty, like callback style or whatever. And I just sit there. I'm
Mhm.
like, of
It
course, this
was
is what
Randy
I'm greeted
Dandio,
with.
by the way. I
Uh,
love that one.
yeah, and
Randy Dandio is a good
like
one.
what a character moment for you that was.
Yeah, and it's funny because I've been sat here so still, speaking so calm, and if you don't know me like in person, you must assume that I'm like a very civil being. This is absolutely for the most part like not the case because like yeah, I can conduct myself professionally if I choose, but like when I get high on social energy because I rarely let sun touch my skin, I rarely leave the house. Um, I go a little crazy. I have a bit of a track
I
record.
don't know.
You look like you're
Audience,
about to take a shit, Joe. Why do you look so constipated?
I was looking at him.
Uh,
I was looking at him.
oh, okay.
I wanted to make sure he didn't like move.
Okay.
um, I don't know. Audience, you you tell me if you can't read into the fact that you tell me. Do you think that Dominic is not an agent of chaos based off of how much you've seen of him so far? Like I don't know. I think they can read.
Comment in the comments down
Yeah. Do
below
you
whether
think
you think
Dominic
I
is an
would
agent of
cause havoc at your
chaos,
social
or is he making it
gatherings.
up? Is this a one off moment?
Well, actually, first, quickly tell me what your favorite song is because I have a story to tell now. You have 30 seconds.
Well, I
30,
already gave my
29,
like under the gun
or
answer. The
28.
longer answer is much
Okay.
longer than that. I'll stick. I'll stick with what I said. I like "Don't Stop Me Now." I think everyone
Okay.
can like "Don't Stop Me Now," but I have
Okay.
many other favorites for different reasons, very different reasons.
Did you like my failure to count backwards from 30?
I
Because
loved
I
it.
completely went 30,
What was
39,
what would you like to?
28.
What were you trying to talk about, Dominic? What did you have to say?
Um, I'm holding a duck.
Oh,
So
he
so,
is.
uh ever since COVID, I haven't really left the house much, and it's only just uh about a week ago now, week and a day, that we all went out to Dave and Buster's. And
We all
if
did
you're
not include
watching,
me. I was
yeah,
not one of
Joe
the
was
we.
invited, but he didn't show up. This is important for later. Um, so if you're like coming from somewhere that doesn't have Dave and Buster's, I don't know if Dave and Buster's is like an international thing. It's basically just like a
You want me to?
glorified
You
arcade
want me to fact
place.
check that?
Yeah, actually check
Yeah,
on
I'll
that while
check
I
the
talk.
locations while you talk.
So, um, I was going there like under the presumption, like, okay, there's a lot of germs that brew in Dave and Buster's because it's a giant arcade place. So I'm not gonna like really touch anything.
The first thing that came up was an
Um,
actual address.
all
There's one.
right.
It's here.
All right, this is the one. Okay, so at first I was like, okay, not gonna really touch anything. Whatever, right? I'm just gonna watch everyone else play games and hang around and chat shit and go around in my Heelys because I have those. Um, and It's like, okay, we're going around David Buster, very cool. And one of our friends, Bobby, comes over and he's like, they have, there's this crane game that does rubber ducks, and the gimmick is that it's play until you win one. So if every credit you put in, you're guaranteed a duck. And they were just like walking past the machine and they're like, haha, what if we like hit the button and it just like went down, and then it did. There were already 5 credits in the machine. So they got 5 ducks, and they came back to the rest of the group and they're like, guys, Joe's holding a gathering on Friday for Thanksgiving. That was like last week, not
Yeah, it was
even
like a giving the day after Friday.
Friendsgiving,
By the
right?
way, while I'm interrupting you,
Mhm.
it appears to be a pretty national train. Comment down
Okay.
below if you know what Dave and Buster's is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Audience engagement.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So we're like, this is great. Let's get 20 ducks and just bring them to Joe's house, and we're gonna scatter them around his house and make him go mad. Um,
Yeah.
so we
I'm not an
go,
agent of chaos at all. No, no, no.
we each put 5 credits in the machine. There's like 4 of us after Bobby. Bobby ended up leaving. So we each put 5 credits in the machine, and I'm to go last. Now, what's important about the crane machine is that there's like the bottom area where the ducks are that you're supposed to grab from, and there's 2 shelves, one on the top and one in the middle, that are presumably just for display. And you're not supposed to be able to get the ducks from there. The problem is that on the top shelf there was a duck with a laughing, crying face on emoji on it that I thought was hilarious and had to get. And on the middle shelf there was a duck that looked like suspiciously like Hololive YouTuber Gargura on it, which I thought I also needed. And I was willing to empty my entire credit card just for the sake of obtaining it. And not even follow Hololive that closely. I just thought I was like, oh wow, VTuber duck, give me. Um, so we all, did our 5 turns, and then it became my turn. I'm like, all right, I'm starting with the laughing, crying emoji duck, and gather around as I start like violently swinging the crane around, not the machine, but like the joystick to make the crane like spin around in circles and
Oh, I'm glad
like
you
start gaining
clarified. I just
momentum.
had a visual of you going nuts on a claw machine.
No.
Uh,
But so, and basically what I was trying to do, what I eventually figured out how to do, was like start batting things off the top shelf. And eventually, once I got this strat down, like all the ducks on the top and middle shelf were like premium cool ducks. You got to understand, right? So I just started knocking them all down into like the grabbing bed area. It's like, okay, this is cool. At some point when this is happening, this is relevant for later, like some girl just stops by, and she's like just watching us do the crane game. And at first I'm like, I'm not gonna hog the machine. Like, do you want to use it? And she's, no, I'm just here to watch. I'm like, excellent, I have an audience. And so I got the laughing crying face emoji duck. I was somewhat satisfied. We went off to go eat dinner, and half of us left, and then me and 2 other buddies went back. And that was when the games began, because it was time to get the Gura duck. And so, first of all, that other girl noticed that we were back at the crane machine and showed back up and like brought a friend, and they just watched us as I was like providing commentary over the struggles that it was to get a hold of this Gura duck. And also at some point, like these 3 like toddlers come over, they're like screaming about playing the duck game or whatever. It's like, okay. Uh and like I'm not gonna hug the machine, so like, okay, these kids want to play on the crane game. I step over, and the mother is like, I don't mean to bother you, whatever. And I'm like, no, go now. I've been here for literally an hour and a half trying to get this duck. And by this point, like we had the bag of 25 ducks already, and we were already just from trying to get this duck by accident, we already had to get another bag. because it was so hard to get one off the middle shelf that we were like coining terms and like inventing vocabulary to try and like come up with strategies to get a hold of this duck. It was like trying to find pack.png. So we're like, so now these like three kids are like on the machine, and I'm like trying to help like spot for them to help them like get ducks and whatever. I'm
Uh-huh.
also making like small talk with the mother, who in hindsight may have had a little alcohol in her system, but like not enough to even be classified as drunk. Uh so we're chatting, yada yada this and yada yada that, and I'm like hyping myself up, like, oh yeah, you see, like that top row was full when we got here. I like knocked all those down, like that. And I'm like pointing around, like, oh yeah, they had like that dog duck was on the top shelf, the peacock duck was on the top shelf, and she's like, the peacock duck. I'm like, yeah, there's a peacock duck. She's like, I have a soft spot for peacocks. I'm like, okay, that's a very particular thing to have a soft spot for. She's like, okay, could you get me the peacock duck? It's like I'll give it a shot, but like you seem to be very competent at the crane game. I'm like, I am. And so like her kids all give it a shot. She gives it a shot, and it's like in an area that you wouldn't be able to just pick it up from because it was like too far to the side. You had to like kind of knock it into the range of the actual crane machine. So they're like, all right, you try. So I give it, like about 20 minutes of like uh trying to knock it in with like swinging at it and trying to pull it in so that way I can get it in range. uh as this is happening, two things. First of all, this mother is hype as hell. She's like we're a bunch of idiots screaming at this duck machine trying to get a hold of ducks, but she's screaming with us now, and it's the best thing on the planet. And the other thing that happens is one of the clerks comes over, or whatever, the attendants or whatever you call them from Dave and Buster's, with 2 bags of ducks, like full. And he's come for either one of 2 reasons. We don't know which. A, by this point, we've emptied the crane machine to a point where he felt compelled to refill it. Or B, he's like, "Oh my god, what the hell do these kids want? I'm just gonna give it to them." Because we were there at this point for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And eventually the mother tells him like, "Oh, I think he's trying to get that shark duck." And he pulls one out of the bag and gives it to me. I'm like, "I kind of want to still get it out of the machine though, because I don't like how
Oh,
this
so we're
story will
coming full
end."
circle. Are you holding
Yeah,
the shark duck?
I'm holding the
Please
shark duck.
show it directly to the camera.
Very cool.
Yeah.
This is unfortunately not the one from the machine. Uh
Uh,
I emptied my card, and both of my friends that were there with me also emptied their cards.
so for
We
people who
we had
don't know
spent
Dave
like
and Buster's, it's like the tokens you use to play the game are digital on like little credit cards. So
yeah,
emptying the card means using all of their points on the machine.
yeah. I don't know how many collective dollars were spent trying to get a hold of this duck, but it was an N dollar story. Like I don't
So
know how much it was worth, but it led to many good things.
so
I was very
where
satisfied
this
leaving Dave
ends
and
up
Buster that day.
is the day of my
Don't you tell your
friendsgiving
half.
gathering. It's not even my half. Well, so they come
It
to my
occurred
house. They come
in
to
your
my house.
dwelling.
These little bozos come in with their little rucksack full of goodies, and I take a peer, and it's entirely full of rubber ducks, and I get this look, and we don't address it, and then like within 15 minutes, I look, they're all gone. Every single duck is gone. And all of a sudden I realize, like, I spot one out of the corner of my eye. They're everywhere in my basement, like Easter egg hidden style. Like you wouldn't realize walking into the room that there were over 50 ducks throughout the room, but
There
there were
were
50 ducks
exactly
throughout the room.
50 that
You
we
all of a sudden you start seeing them, and you can't look anywhere without seeing at least one. I ended up So here's the other thing that happened, right? So they're gonna be like, "Oh, you're gonna be finding these ducks for months." I'm sitting here like, "Whoa." um, and so I find like 15. I gather like 15 at one point, which,
Mhm.
for those of you who know the significance of the number 15, happens to be exactly the amount required, exactly the amount of billiard balls to rack up the billiard balls.
He
So
has a pool table.
I have a pool table in
That's
the
also
basement.
important context.
So I rack up the ducks as a joke, and we start discussing. I wonder if we could break them. Like, I was just gonna take a funny picture of the ducks racked and then just leave them there. But yeah, I have the funny picture.
Editor Joe's gonna put it on screen now. The picture of the ducks.
Take your time, Editor Joe. I know you have no idea how to edit. You got it though. It's just one image.
Editor Joe knows how to edit by now.
Yeah, Editor Joe. I'm editing. By the way, for context, Editor Joe is just another way of saying me in the future, because we like to treat ourselves and not the present as different entities, because it's kind of funny. Anyway, so that's a picture. We also have this discussion of, like, I wonder if we can break them. So, like, I test break it. Well, I don't test break it yet. What happens first is I'm like, okay, guys, fun time. I have an idea. We're gonna have a rock paper scissors tournament, and the winner gets to break the ducks. And we did. I came in second. I like
Bobby, who actually, it's full circle.
Same Bobby ended up winning the rock paper scissors tournament. Those are fun, by the way. If you needed like one person in a crowd of people to do something, it's fun because, like, within 4 rounds, because of how exponentiality works, like, then you only have to win like 4 times, and you beat, like, what's 4 to the 4th power?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Calculator. You've already beaten 255 people.
Oh, it is 256.
Yeah. So that's fun. So he won. We got a little foosball from the foosball table I also have in my gamer basement. Very, very fun, like, kind of party area. That's the point. So he grabs a foosball, and we were like, oh no, we got a video to it. So I have video evidence of this. He goes to break it with the foosball, and it does absolutely nothing and scratches. It bounces off the first duck, doesn't move a single duck, and then goes immediately into the corner. And we're all like, haha, it failed. It was so funny. It made like a squeaky noise. And then we try it again with the cue ball. And, like, so it kind of worked a little bit better, but Brian, aka Bobby, still very much failed to break it, and immediately scratched in the opposite corner again. And we have video evidence of that. So we have this funny moment, like, haha, we broke the ducks. This is very funny. And then, without saying anything, we proceeded to just start playing the game.
We all, like, subconsciously decided to have the most serious, like, team match 3v3 of duck billiards.
Duck billiards.
And it was like,
it was so intense, and so, like, mind you, this is the quietest we've been all night. Just like when somebody went to, like, go take a shot, the room had to go dead silent. And if somebody made a duck in, which, like, was about as possible as you'd think it would be. I mean, the game was over within 15 minutes. So obviously we somehow succeeded. But it was about as possible to play that with the ducks as you would think it would be. We knocked one off the table once. It was kind of funny. And if one went in, we all had to like snap around the table. Slam poetry snap. And it was, we didn't address it at all. It was very natural, and we were like, and my team won. Me and Dominic were on the same team. We won. Therefore, and if you've ever played this game before, prove me wrong. You have to have video evidence, though, because I have video evidence. Yeah. We've won the first ever game of duck billiards.
We're literally world champions.
Yes.
So I don't mean to intimidate anyone, but pretty hot stuff, Joe.
Yeah.
And
I'm still finding ducks. So that wraps up that story.
Can you give me your favorite duck positions that you found, Joe?
Okay, so everywhere. I found a duck in my smoke detector. I found a duck in my macaroni and cheese. I found a duck in my iced tea after looking away from it too long. And I found a duck in the ceiling. in the ceiling boards, multiple. And only one of those 4 places was false that I just made up. The other 3 actually. Comment down below which of those duck positions you think was the one I made up. Because 3 of those 4
Please
duck
comment
positions.
something. We are desperate for engagement. This is our first episode.
Wouldn't you? Maybe I'll reveal which one of those was not the real one.
In next episode.
Next episode or something. Yeah. I should like take pictures of them and their spots and stuff for like very good.
Yeah. Very good.
So yeah, that should pretty much wrap up exactly delivering our personalities to you. Taking a look at our recording now.
There are definitely more things that I could attribute.
We could go on indefinitely, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But
I would rather than like lore dump, I'd rather spread that out like a trail of breadcrumbs.
We're sprinkling out our tendencies as silly human beings, which we are.
Yes.
Looking at the recording,
many stories.
Looking at the recording right now, we're approximately a little over 30 minutes from when we greeted the audience. I think
that's about the halfway point.
Yeah, if this is gonna be like a full hour, we're about at the intermission. So,
very good.
This is your part where we remind you to like the video and comment down below and subscribe and drink some water. Stay hydrated.
Yes.
Heyo, Editor Joe here. Hope you're liking the mess so far. I'm here to tell you that this episode of JaDS is sponsored by the like button and the sub button, so please hit them. Me and Dom are doing this for no money right now, to an audience, because we want to, so subscribing to us would really be appreciated, but of course there's no pressure to do so. Sit back, relax, stay hydrated, and whenever you're ready, enjoy the second half of the podcast. Cheers. And welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. We've been sitting here in silence for the last 5 minutes waiting for you to come back, so welcome back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correction. I sat here in silence for 5 minutes while Joe took a piss. But yeah, for the most part, we had our little intermission. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
We have now decided that we're gonna kick the pace up. So basically, we're gonna split the episodes. So the first half is gonna be mostly an exchange of monologues, like the storytelling half, because we love telling stories.
And the second half is gonna be more of a dialogue where we speak. Where we speak. So we can talk over each other for this. We're both going to be talking at the same time.
Now we're going to talk over each other.
Should I go get the hat while you explain?
Yeah. So what'd you say? You're going to grab the hat? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So,
excuse me.
The second half of the episode, we're just going to kind of talk about our plans for the podcast. We have a lot of plans. The first of which involves the hat, as you can see Joe is grabbing now. Very cool.
It's not a Santa hat either.
So the lead-in punchline, or what some people would call an intro to this show, is, "Hi, I'm Dom. This is Joe. And we've been told we can hold the conversation."
No, it's actually, "Hi, I'm Joe. This is Dom." That's what I said.
It's actually, "Hi, I'm Dom. I'm not continuing this joke. Okay.
Look at the self-restraint on this guy. Yeah. So
absolutely out of control today.
So the idea is we can hold a conversation about anything. And the thing is, no matter what we're talking about or why we're talking, we will end up going on inevitable tangents, whatever. In other words, you know how all those college-age kids are like, "Oh yeah, I'm totally entertaining and cool. I could talk for an amount of time and people would listen to me." That's us. And we think we can talk about anything, and it's not important what the content is because you're going to watch it anyway. Please watch it.
So good.
Please watch it. That wasn't a threat. But our idea is, I got this little hat here, my very cool, fancy steampunk hat, and
yes,
I'm gonna turn it upside down, and it's gonna be full of conversation topics generated by
the random generator.
Generated by you.
We're
Yeah.
probably going to need a random generator to start, unless we like blow up overnight or something, and there's not enough papers to fit in the hat. I doubt that's going to be the case, though.
Hello, Joe
Just
Biden.
hi, Joe
Hi,
Biden.
Joe Biden.
No. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe.
No, but eventually, hopefully, you guys again, because we didn't have enough reasons for you guys to fill up the comment section with useful input.
Yes.
We figure you guys will always have something to comment, which would be something you want us to talk about. You will
Right,
determine the
conversation
fate.
topics.
You will determine the fate of what a lot of the content in later episodes is by us putting it in this hat and maybe picking it out of the hat.
Right.
And obviously, the less popular we are, and the earlier you catch us, the less competition there will be, and we will be more likely to talk about your conversation topic.
Yes. So there's
yes.
going to be two main ways that you could go about submitting a hat topic. The first one is just throw it down in the comments, like maybe I don't know, hashtag hat topic.
Yeah, and
Is
if it
that a
gets a
thing that you
lot
can
of
do on
a lot of likes, we'll be more likely to consider it over ones that don't have a lot of likes or something.
And there's no rules, but we're obviously going to filter out certain things.
There are
Like,
rules. Our sponsor deals are dependent.
Okay. But we don't have sponsor deals right now, Joe.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Microsoft,
Coca-Cola? Maybe
Coca-Cola,
sponsor us, Coca-Cola?
the American government.
Oh, that would be a good one. That would be a good starting sponsorship. No. So what I was gonna say is, so like we're obviously not going to put certain things in the hat. I don't have an outline in my head, but like
We don't
if
need
it's
to
the type of
explain the
thing,
obvious.
we
Like
don't
we're
need to
not
explain the
gonna.
obvious. If it's something that wouldn't be discussed in a YouTube video, we're not going to discuss it in a
Yeah,
YouTube
we're not gonna
video.
be like. I'm not gonna give an example because I can't.
Yeah,
Any
exactly.
examples I can give wouldn't. You've been on the. If you're watching us, you've hopefully been on the internet for like. You know what the WWW stands for.
I think understanding what the WWW stands for and what the meta of YouTube is are two different things.
You know what you can and can't talk about, okay?
Okay,
They get it.
So
you guys get it.
We've gone on about this for too long.
Yes.
The other means of submission, the cooler means of submission, is to join our Discord server where we're recording this right now.
Oh.
Yeah, we have a Discord server.
We have a Discord server?
Surprise.
Did you guys know that we have a Discord server? I didn't know we had a Discord server.
Oh
wow.
The Discord server is very cool. It consists of 5 channels, 2 of which are voice channels right now. We don't have any plans in particular to expand it from there. It's gonna be a fun time. It's gonna be a great, grand, fun time. You should join the Discord server. It's called Joe and Dom's server. And
AKA
the link JaDS.
JaDS.
Yeah.
Is this the JaDS podcast?
This is the JaDS podcast.
This is the Joe and Dom server podcast.
When you made the Joe and Dom server, the auto Discord icon said JaDS.
And we both
You said
chuckled, and now that's
JaDS.
what we refer to this as.
JaDS.
Yeah.
This is the JaDS podcast, guys. So yes, join the JaDS server. That's the Joe and Dom server.
Well, I think it's been quite long enough then. Shouldn't we pick a topic out of not this hat? Is it time?
Perhaps.
Go to.
We don't have any things.
It's
in the
empty
hat right now. It's empty.
It's
The hat
empty.
is empty right now. There's no one has submitted anything.
But like metaphorically, should you take something out of it?
Sure.
Yeah. Dominic's gonna go to a conversation topic generator right now, via the power of Google.com, Google Chrome.
Yes.
And I'm gonna sit here and make snarky comments while he looks it up. Hey, audience, you want to be entertained? You want to see the desk ornament for the week? It's always gonna be a different one, I promise. It's bold and brash in a picture frame. Yeah. Yeah, that's my show and tell item for the day. It stays on my desk, like just under and slightly behind my monitor, because it doesn't belong in the trash.
Okay, I think this was a weak conversation topic. Maybe we can make an example.
Okay.
What do you think of buffets, Joe?
Was that it? Was that the
That was
conversation
it.
starter?
That was the conversation topic.
I think buffets are intended to lure people who think that they can take advantage of a buffet,
Yeah.
but the math was already done previously, and really all you've done by tempting someone into thinking they can eat enough to make it worth it is actually just tricking somebody into being a customer. I think they know you're gonna
Mm.
try and eat a lot. I don't think they're
Right,
gonna.
right.
They've probably done the math. Like, and you're not getting one up on the man every time you go and you
Mhm.
fast for a week and a half so that you can eat like a turkey and a half at the buffet of this indiscriminate location. Because for every one of you, there's like 30 people who go in, eat like half of a day old sushi, and then immediately die of dysentery and don't eat anything else, and they probably still making a profit. Um,
So I've been to like a couple of buffets,
yeah, I was gonna ask.
technically. So so it's interesting because I went to like maybe 3 buffets as a kid, and I think at 2 of the 3 I vomited because I tried to like have ice cream in place of the meatballs and my spaghetti meatballs.
Yeah, that's another thing. Too powerful for children. Children should
Yeah,
not be
way too
allowed to go to
powerful for
buffets. They
children.
they can't be given
So
that responsibility. Oh, what do you have there? I have scrambled eggs and ice cream. Oh,
yeah.
I see you have 7 scoops of ice cream. Yes. Um, 7 eggs, 7 scoops of ice cream.
Oh my god. So, I think,
Ooh.
like, there was a long gap in time where, like, I was like, "Okay, no more buffets." And then I went on my first
Why
cruise.
did you have a negative experience?
Yeah, I vomited in the
Oh,
parking
oh,
lot.
oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Totally missed that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
what you
vomited.
don't like vomiting you don't like vomiting in parking
That was,
lots?
like, one of the last times I actually vomited. Uh
Good.
it's been a minute. I'm not trying to, like, make that happen again, but, it's been a while since I vomited, just saying. Anyways, so there's a fun fact, trivia fact about Dom. Been a couple of years. Anyways,
Okay.
um, however, the most recent buffet I've technically been to is
Was
when I
it
went on a cruise ship.
Yeah, was it
Went on
on
a
the cruise
Norwegian
ship?
cruise ship,
Was it to
and,
Norwegia or was the ship Norwegian?
it was a Norwegian cruise line. We
Okay.
went to Bahamas the first time, Bermuda the second time. And I really
Norwegia.
like just the boat part. Like I would really just enjoy on a cruise ship to nowhere. If that's a thing
Mhm.
that is, I think that does exist. Um,
Yeah, that's called going in a circle.
yeah, yeah, that's cool. We do like circles. So
And how was that buffet?
I loved it. I loved it. So the other thing though is that technically thereafter, I've been to something that you could consider a buffet, which is I don't think it counts. It's just like a Brazilian food place. I think this is like a style of Brazilian restaurant
Mhm.
where it's not a buffet, but it's all you can eat. So like
Oh, so served all you can eat.
yeah, so the way it works is you have like a little coin and
Mhm.
it's like red on one side and green on the other
And you
side. And
like
green
flip it
means
up
come give
when
me
yeah,
food.
yeah, I was about to say. That sounds like a
So
system. I feel like I've heard
so
of a
there's a
system like
system.
that. Yeah.
And basically, like the chefs are just like constantly making meat and putting them on a big skewer. And they go around with the big skewer and
Mhm.
they go to the green tables. And like, all right, this is a filet mignon wrapped in bacon. Do you want this? Yes or no? Yes? Okay. And they just like more? Okay.
I mean,
Because like
that sounds like
I
the way it should be done. That sounds like a premium experience.
oh yeah. And like I don't think again, I think you're right where like I think you're not like getting a deal by doing the all you can eat meat, but it's definitely the experience that you go
No,
for
I think
because
that
it's a
was
really cool
definitely I think that was definitely like a fair deal. A fair Cuz also like when you're paying to be on
Mhm.
a cruise ship, it's like cruise ships themselves are like an optimization puzzle for overly uh like
Premium? Is it
yeah, thank
premium the
you. I
word
was
you're
going to say
looking for?
primitive, but that was the opposite.
Yeah.
Like overly premium experiences everywhere on the ship. So like,
Right.
they got like filet mignon and mass and stuff. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? But yeah, that
Right.
sounds like a good experience. And also, my dad,
Mhm.
you reminded me of my dad. He has these stories of when he was a kid.
Mhm.
Like he he used to be like my size. For the record, for you listening in audio, I am very tall. That was a
Joe and
lie.
I are both about 5'7".
Yes, and we're both pretty scrawny fellas as well. I mean, like
Yeah.
I do athletic things, so I'm not like out of shape or anything, but I am just a pretty thin fella. I have a very high active metabolism. I'm very light.
Same here.
Uh, and my dad, who is the opposite of that, he's not overweight, but like he's a big dude.
Mhm.
He can probably bench comically more than I can.
Mhm.
But he tells me, I used to be like you. I used to be your size. I'm like, whoa, what do you mean? And then he'd tell me these stories of like, yeah, I just ate and worked out and ate a lot when I was your age for an extended amount of time, and now I'm this. And his example is always how he'd go onto this cruise ship and like literally did the like, you see this on the menu, give me everything but this. And then waiters would come over with like trays and trays and trays and trays of food, and him and his goons would like eat all of it. Like he's from the Comedy Story of like the cartoon character who does make the buffet go broke. That's like what I envision in my mind. But yeah, like personally, Dom, most of my buffet experiences are like breakfast buffets at hotels where they're like, "Oh yeah, breakfast is
Oh, that's
included.
right.
Breakfast is
Those
included."
exist.
And you just like wake up and there's just like, yeah, there's just breakfast. There's the bacon tray, there's the egg tray, there's the yada yada. And
Mhm.
I feel like I have a very particular set of feelings towards those. Like I don't know what those feelings are, but I know I have feelings towards them.
I
Like
love breakfast buffets because this is actually something that I wanted to talk about on the podcast today.
breakfast
I
buffets?
have breakfast buffets.
Oh,
Um,
glad you randomly
no,
generate.
not buffets, but eggs.
Okay.
I have extremely mixed feelings about scrambled eggs
Oh, here
or
we
eggs
go.
in general. Let me explain why, okay?
This was
I
prepared.
go to, I go to IHOP, right? Love IHOP. IHOP, the house of pancakes,
Oh, I
right?
haven't been to the International House of Pancakes in a
Yeah, so
long
this
time.
is the place. If you don't have IHOP by you, it's the International House.
So
Actually,
you
wait,
should.
you should have an IHOP by you. By the definition, it is an international chain.
Yeah.
Um,
See, he's catching on.
so so go to IHOP, right? I'm going to order pancakes. I came to fucking IHOP. I'm gonna have pancakes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I would like these pancakes. Okay, wonderful. You get the pancake combo, and I'm given a wonderful platter that is most likely comprised of the pancakes that I ordered, then like 2 pieces of bacon, very good, scrambled eggs, and hash browns. I like all of these things individually, right? But the problem is that the order in which I am most naturally inclined to eat these things is I ordered the pancakes, so I want to try the pancakes first. And
Uh,
I like bacon because bacon makes my mouth taste good after I eat it. So I eat the bacon right away. And then I also really like hash browns because I like potatoes. So I eat the hash browns. And then I'm having my pancakes. And oh, wait, now the eggs are cold because they're the thing that I'm most naturally inclined to eat last because I eat things one at a time. So nobody likes cold
whoa,
eggs.
whoa, whoa,
If
whoa,
you do like cold eggs,
whoa,
then
whoa,
you're not a person. Therefore, I'm still correct.
whoa, whoa.
Um, so
You don't.
what, Joe? Are you raising your hand?
Yes.
Yeah. Joe, I'm calling on
Thank you.
you.
um, nobody likes to eat cold eggs. That's why you eat them first. Why would you
No,
not
but I
eat
don't
the
want to eat
eggs
them
first?
first.
Why would you not? That's the reason you eat them first, because they get cold.
Yeah, but then what happens is the eggs become a liability and an obligation instead of being something that I'm just inclined to eat. I'm like, oh, I gotta eat the eggs first. It's like I'm getting it out of the way. The eggs are a chore on my plate. Whereas, like,
Audience, I eat my eggs first because I know they get cold if I don't. I just want to make. I
I
just want to
do too,
separate.
but it
I just want to separate myself from this maniac.
okay, listen. I know to eat the eggs first
I also
rationally,
love
and sometimes
eggs.
I do, but
I
like,
also happen
okay,
to love eggs.
I am like eggs are like mid for me. I'm not like
Yeah, and
huge
you're
on
like mid
eggs, but
for me. I don't.
I
I
don't
don't.
dislike
I
them.
don't
And
dislike you either.
my my favorite breakfast foods are like omelets and egg sandwiches. So I like eggs. I just don't like the idea of including eggs separate into my breakfast meal because I get all confused and I cannot hold back my gluttony to eat the savory bacon and the cool hash browns over the mid eggs that I have to eat first because I have to worry they're gonna get cold if I don't give them
Okay,
attention right
what's the
away.
moral of this IHOP story?
If you go to a buffet, you can choose when you get the eggs. You see how fucking good I am at
You could also
conversation,
just
Joe?
choose to eat them first, you
Shut the fuck up.
delinquent. Very good, Dominic.
Very good. Very good, Joe.
um,
Um,
all right. So, have we talked
that
enough
was
about buffets?
by Dom and Joe.
Yeah.
Uh,
Wait, I feel like I didn't really make a commentary. I just kind of mentioned that breakfast buffets exist. The one thing I
that
wanted to
kinda set me
mention,
off.
I only have one gag, and then we can move on. Thank you, editor Joe. Dominic had a little intrusion. Are you okay?
Yeah, just a little,
All right.
little chuckling.
All right. I wanted to make this gag. Breakfast buffets at hotels think that I have the responsibility to make my own Belgian waffle.
I was gonna comment on that too.
And I don't. And nor does anyone else. Just
I
stop
do.
letting us. You don't. I don't trust you.
So you have the responsibility to eat your eggs first, but not the responsibility to put a Belgian waffle together.
So you have
call
the
yourself an adult.
responsibility to put a Belgian waffle together by yourself and portion it correctly, but you can't. No, you don't have the responsibility to eat your cold eggs first.
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable expectation.
All
for
right,
an
we're done
adult.
talking about buffets now. We're done.
Okay.
I actually have to cut us off because we were about to go on a rant about buffets. Audience, I hope this proves that we really can have a conversation about anything. Do we have, I think we have time for like at least one more randomly generated one, right? The audience shouldn't be like, oh, randomly generated conversation time, and then there's only one. We talk about buffets. It's not buffet section, it's randomly generated conversation section.
Okay.
Let's get another one.
Let me click the button until I find something appealing again.
The recording's over an hour, but the video shouldn't be by now, because we took
Right.
that break and we started like 5 minutes into the video. So, editor Joe's knows where we are, but I think we have some time.
There's a great one here that we don't have time for.
What is it?
Maybe we'll put it in the hat for later.
Yeah.
What is the craziest, most outrageous thing you want to achieve? That's like most of our life goals.
Yeah, that's
the
just everything
craziest.
we do.
That's everything we do.
That's just the first segment of these videos. Move on to the next question.
Yeah. What's your favorite day of the week, Joe?
Wow, what a dumb
What a
and
mundane topic.
what a mundane. How appropriate. This was appropriately selected. So
Yeah.
there are several ways you can go about this. You can say,
Mhm.
well, the day I don't have to work is the best day of the week. And then you say the day that you don't have to work. Or you say the day before you don't have to work because you have a weird relationship with anticipation. Okay, those are the
Okay.
two usual answers, being in most typical work scenarios Saturday or Friday. Nobody likes Sunday, again, for anticipation reasons. Why would you want it to be the day before you go to work? You want it to be Friday or Saturday because you can do what you want for the entirety of Saturday, or you can stay up as late as you want on the Friday and have the least consequences. I feel like I don't have a favorite day of the week because how could I possibly justify that? Like my instincts
you try
point
hard
to
enough, you could justify anything.
yes,
Joe.
but like my instinct tells me to just like pick a day that is funny for some reason, like Monday because Garfield doesn't like them or something, and that would be all I have to say
Okay.
about the day.
Is
But
that final answer?
I think my final answer would be I don't have a favorite because how could you?
Okay.
Although what I will say is that Tuesday can be a very peaceful day. I've decided that Tuesdays can be a very peaceful day. Cuz like you're not stressing about anything on a Tuesday. Who's doing anything stressful on a Tuesday in any situation? Tell me. Have you ever had a stressful situation on a
Tuesday
Tuesday?
is my most loaded day for school, but
That's the worst the Tuesday could possibly be though.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
You know,
Tuesday's all right.
like there are no big events on Tuesdays. It's usually like in the early middle of something. Like Mondays
Mhm.
suck. Like assuming a normal work schedule or not, Mondays suck. You got the rest of the week, yada yada yada. But Tuesdays like the same thing, but you've already accepted it and achieved that kind of like you've achieved chi by Tuesday, and that's I do like Tuesdays for that reason. And that is
Okay.
the best justification I could possibly come up with on such
Okay.
short notice. So Tuesday, final answer.
I have like a couple of potential answers, and I'm gonna get to the
Yes, there are
real one
7 of them.
last. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Congratulations. You
I'm so-
no, that wasn't my plan. That would have been pretty smart. Um, so Friday would be a very easy target because it's my one dedicated free day of the week. I do a lot of projects and I basically force myself to take one free day every week, and that's Friday. Um, I do have like my Saturdays are packed as well, but it's packed with like, I have D&D all day and then I have like a Japanese class at night that I look forward to.
Dom does play
So
a lot of
that'll work.
D&D, by the way.
I
You
do
do.
play
He
like an
does.
unhealthy amount of D&D.
He does a lot of
Um,
he has an unhealthy amount of calculations for D&D as well, but
I
keep
have like
going.
a PhD's worth of knowledge in D&D. Um, I follow like optimization communities like loosely. But I just spend a lot of time thinking about the game and staring at
So
5e12
what's your favorite day of
displays.
the
But
week?
I like Thursdays, which is the day that I'm most likely to have a 9-hour work shift. Dominic, what the fuck? Why would you say this? Why do you this like I pretty much only get assigned work on Thursday and I
Dominic,
like work part-time.
why would you say this?
This is absurd.
This is
I
absurd.
work at Wendy's. I actually quite like working at Wendy's. I find like about equally as engaging as I find it weirdly meditative because it's often too fast paced to think about anything. Uh so basically what my work at is like I work from 2 to 11, right? So I show up at 2 and like until the end of lunch rush basically till around like 4 p.m. That's way after lunch rush.
Uh-huh.
Uh it's pretty hectic and you can't really think about much of anything and you're just kind of going and whatever. And I don't mind that cuz I can make anything fun for myself. I don't really get bored easily. But then like usually a lot of very interesting things happen when I'm at work. So I honestly don't mind working at Wendy's and it's like it is the least stressful day of my week because even on Fridays, which is my free
So
day,
like
I'm like
it's like free productivity almost.
it's
Like,
not even that because like I know I'm not even going to have that much of a chance to be productive. Like
well, in other words,
for someone
though,
who has
you don't feel guilty about that pretty mundanely spent time because it's a wage earning time. Is that, would
yeah,
you agree?
effectively, it's like this, okay? I have a very like odd relationship with my schedule and my ambitions, which boils down to the fact that I am pursuing a very like abnormal path in my life. I'm like very bent on not getting a like a job. Like I want to do either freelance or some sort of entrepreneurial or content
Yes,
creation
he does
thing.
have too many things.
I
He has
have
too
way
many
too many
hobbies and he
hobbies
wants them all
that
to
are
be financial
monetizable.
successes. We've just said the
Yeah,
same
I
thing.
have I have too many monetizable hobbies,
So,
and
Dominic's
this
favorite
allows me to
day
be able to kill
is
myself.
Thursday
Um,
because it is the one day in which his free will is stripped from him and he cannot be responsible for himself.
basically, well, what I was gonna elaborate with a little bit more is that I had a reality check. I didn't get a job till later in life, like when I was 18, for a whole slew of reasons, actually. Those are reasons that I will talk about in other episodes because they do go pretty deep.
Yeah, we're talking
Um,
about what's your favorite day of the week for a suspiciously long amount of time, I feel.
yeah.
What's your
Um,
favorite day of the week? Comment down below in the comment
oh
section
yes, comment down below.
and give your
Um,
reasoning. It doesn't matter what your answer is, but you will be judged on your reasoning. Please cite your sources.
MLA 7th edition.
MLA
No, no,
6th
no. So,
edition.
so what? what it basically boiled down to is when I worked my first 40-hour week, and I really like I don't do 40-hour weeks anymore. I tried to keep this part time because I also do like freelance work outside of this.
He does.
Um, what it boiled down to was like, wow, that was like the most normal I've ever felt. And there's something kind of like attractive to me about just like living a normal day where I can feel like the target audience of mass produce. Not mass produce like chicken produce, but like, you know, the YouTube Shorts uh page. Like I almost don't feel guilty when I click through YouTube Shorts
This
when I
is the
have a
part where
9-hour
we
workday.
realize that Dominic daydreams about working a 9 to 5 job and being a normal human being and not being
This
plagued
was a
by the pains of constant aspiration. Uh,
Yeah, no, this was a something that I spoke to Joe about recently. It's like I have so many things that I'm constantly thinking about at once that
it can be a little like for people that don't do it frequently, it can be a little like even therapeutically shocking to just like
mhm,
go to work, come home, be done with work, like go at your job or school, and like
yeah,
come home and like, yep, I work one job and that's all. I've done my job for the day, and I will now.
mhm,
It is now downtime. You know,
yeah,
like when you're your own boss, or you're like
mhm.
working on a bunch of side hustles or something, you can feel constant service. I know what you're talking about.
It's constant pressure to always be working, and the thing is that there's no, like, clear cutoff time, and especially coupled with, like, a kind of unstable sleep schedule, much better than it used to be, but still kind of unstable. It doesn't
Dominic likes Thursdays because
I
Wendy's is
like
the only
Thursdays.
time in which he's not responsible for his own time management, which he is terrible at,
And I can feel like a 19-year-old.
and he can feel like a normal human being. Very good. Dominic
Yeah.
is a human being. And that is our favorite days of the week. I like Thursdays too, because Thursdays was
I've
my day
achieved
for band.
humanity on Thursday.
My Thursdays was the day that band lessons were, which would get me out of class in middle school. I remember that.
Mm, I also had band lessons on Thursday.
Yeah, I know. I was there. I'm
D
kidding.
we weren't in the same section,
That
though.
was a
This
joke
just
because that was
just so
false.
happened to be
For you audio
it's the
listeners out there. Yes, because everyone who's watching this video knows that there's a little sign that flashes in the corner that says whether or not we're being ironic at any present time.
Yeah, it's the irony meter.
Yeah, there's a little irony meter.
Yeah. You can't see it because you're audio only. Don't look at the other screen if you're just listening and it's on your other screen or something.
Yeah, no,
Don't
that's
check.
that's cheap. You gotta have been here from the start to see it.
Yeah,
You'll have missed the tutorial on how to see it that we only showed in the video. Don't go
Right.
back.
Don't go back.
don't don't lick your lips. They're not dry.
Don't do that to me. I was just about to. Are you
Dry
gonna make
having
wait, I'm gonna
lips.
have to end the video now so I don't get caught in 4K licking my lips. Uh, we don't have an outro plan. We never made it this
Well, I was
far.
gonna say, Dominic, I feel like that we're running out of time. I think that's enough topics for today. We only got to two. Was it two? Yeah, it was only two.
Yeah,
We're gonna have to set a
we
cap
had
next
2.
time so we can get to more. We're like, especially if they're like random ones, like at
Yeah,
most
why
10
don't we just,
minutes.
like, reserve the last 30 minutes of the episode for 3 10-minute intervals of conversation?
Or even we'll pick a more obscure time, like 8, and try and fit 4 or 5 in.
Okay.
Because I feel like that's less so, what are we going to talk about today? And more so, talk about this. Now talk about this. You've talked about it enough.
Yeah,
Now
that's
talk about
fun.
this. I think,
Some of our best moments, or at least one of our best moments has come from a writing thing that we
yeah,
did
like randomly
where we had
generated writing prompts and speed writing. Anyway, but that was its own story. No more storytelling. No
no
more
more
lore
stories.
dumping.
Okay.
Just thank you for watching. If you really did,
Mhm.
like really, I don't know if I don't even know if I'd sit through this whole thing. I mean, I would. I listen to long form content, but
Mhm.
that's like, I know not everybody has a second monitor and a second ear. Like for you people that only
Mhm.
have one ear out there, I know you don't want me in the only one you have. Um. So thank you for watching.
Mhm.
Put really, if you're gonna make one comment, do put down like something you want us to talk about, so we don't have to talk about buffets and days of the week. We love to talk about like video games and music and education and like tech and
Mhm.
science
Yeah, that's
and
something that Joe and I are both very passionate about is education.
and music and comedy and being the age that we are and living in a society. We like talking about that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
the more the more you submit interesting conversation topics, the more we can talk
Mhm.
about them and entertain, humor you and or us, and
Mhm.
not the algorithm that tells us what to talk about.
Yeah, Joe and I like to talk in a lot of abstracts, but we're not philosophers, so don't like come at us with like philosophy words because we're not gonna understand them.
I might. I'll look it
You
up.
might, we
I'll
might
do
get a couple of
research.
them.
I'll
Oh yeah,
literally
well,
do
we
research
can
to
do
figure out
research,
what
but
you're
like we
talking
can't
about.
do research on the spot. Uh,
Um, all right. So, thank you for watching. I'll
very
see you
cool.
next week. If this video gets 10 likes, we'll make another one.
Yes,
Yes. Bye bye.
please give us 10 likes.
Okay. It's over. Editor Joe
We're
cut
good,
us off right there.
and he did. Holy fuck.
I'm putting that in.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna put it in.
Do you have to be?
Do that. No,
Are you sure?
I don't go to the bathroom, Joe.
Now you do.
Oh no.